Official forecasts show secondary schools will need 260 more teachers next year just to meet increased enrolments. The schools are expected to grow by more than 7,000 students in 2022 and will also need teachers to replace those who retire or leave for other reasons. Steve Hargraves from the Auckland Secondary Principals Association told our education correspondent John Gerritsen he doesn't know where the extra staff will come from.
It's no surprise that with a growing role and more students entering secondary school education, we are going to need more teachers. But the number, 262 additional secondary teachers needed next year across the country, that's quite a big number, and I don't know how we're going to meet that demand.
Yeah, because you've got people who are perhaps retraining or coming out of the teachers' colleges. I mean, that's the main source, is it?
Yes, we have, there really is two sources, people training in New Zealand or people coming from overseas. And of course, the number coming in from overseas, there's a tight limit on that at the moment. And the people coming out of training colleges aren't necessarily in the subjects where we need them or in the numbers that we need them.
Now, the Ministry of Education has in the past said, look, we know there's a looming shortage of secondary teachers. We'll do what we can to try and meet that. How much confidence have you got that there will, in fact, be enough teachers next year?
Well, no confidence that there'll be enough teachers in the subjects where we need them or in the quality that we need them. And, I mean, that's another thing that we haven't talked about is, having a person in front of the students is one thing, but having the person in front of them that the students deserve and need is something quite different entirely. Yeah, look, I know for sure that in technology, mathematics, physics, chemistry, te reo Māori, we are definitely going to be short of teachers.
Okay, and that requirement for 260 teachers across the country, about 115 or so in Auckland, is that comparable to what's been required in previous years?
I can't recall that off the top of my head, but I tell you, things are changing. We have survived at our school this year thanks to some teachers who have come out of retirement. We have two teachers in their mid-70s in our technology department who have, out of the goodness of their hearts, come back and taken technology classes as full-time teachers this year. Now, we have another teacher, long retired, been doing a little bit of relieving also in the school. And without teachers like that, we would not be able to staff classes. We'd be collapsing certain subjects. Look, we can't keep doing that, and I think COVID is another thing on their mind. Older teachers do not want to be around schools with COVID breaking out, and I think that's going to push a few more of them out of the profession. This
is a really unwelcome pressure when you're trying to deal with COVID as well and cope with lockdown learning and catching up on lost learning.
That's the last thing we need. I mean, term 4 is going to be really difficult. We haven't been in school for 6.5 weeks. We're going to have to try and get students finished with their national qualifications next term. That's going to be a huge job. And then on top of that, to think about recruitment and trying to fill vacancies in those hard-to-staff subjects, it's going to be a real headache.
That's Steve Hargraves from the Auckland Secondary Principals Association. To meet the demand for 260 teachers nationally, teachers are returning from retirement just to fill gaps.